Hey everyone, it's the Customer Care Channel, and today I've been actually pondering about what to talk about, and because there's lots of different subjects, but I really wanted to kind of hit home with everybody. I've been kind of feeling a little bit defeated because I suffer with quite a bit of anxiety, so I just wanted to kind of talk about how having a good mindset really helps, especially in this field and dealing with customers in particular. The reason I'm saying this is dealing with people on a day-to-day basis can be rewarding, but it can also be horrendously stressful. And the reason I say that is not everyone is polite, and you all know this. And obviously, if you're running your own business, sometimes when you're talking to your customers, it can be about a product or the service that you're providing. You can also take it quite personal, and I think we need to kind of step back and kind of take ourselves out the equation, the fact that it's your business. And we need to tell ourselves, this person doesn't care who they're talking to. It just happens to be that you're on the end of it. Because I always take this into account when I speak to companies, like, for example, your gas and electric company, or your phone bill, and you contact them because they've charged you way more than what they should have done. And then, you hear that some people, they've had a go at the person on the chat or the person on the phone because they weren't getting what they needed to get done. And I just listen to them and I'm thinking, oh my word, imagine if that was me on the other end of it. Because you can only do what you can in order to try and relax the customer and kind of give the value that you can give, because obviously there's always a line. You can only give to a certain extent, because it comes to the point of where you're giving things away for free, and there's got to be a boundary. And I just thought this is a really good subject to talk about, because I found that in the years of working specifically with like customer services teams and managing my staff, I have found over the years a lot of people have suffered with different types of mental health issues, and it can be the fact that work in particular, especially with dealing with complaints or just technical issues that are coming in, the staff morale and the mental health of your team can decline. And it's just the fact of the industry that you're in. And I believe that there should be some form of, method that you use as a manager to help your staff deal with the stress of customers on a day-to-day basis. And especially like if you don't have a team and it's just you need to make sure that you're getting that break, and you've also got things put in place in order to prevent you, dealing with high levels of stress. So one of the things that I would suggest is having, for example, support hours. So if you are in particular, you're running a business, you've got an Etsy shop, or like a physical shop, whichever, that's handmade or not, and you're selling products. You're making these products, you're then selling them, you're packaging them, you're sending them off, and then you're dealing with all the customer messages as well. And you're going through one by one. Now, I understand that if it's your own business and you feel that you have to do all the messages on the day that you get them, because otherwise you get too swamped and you can't keep up. However, for your mental state, your mental health, what I'm going to suggest is that your working hours for responding to customers are between a certain time. frame. So you're not going home, for example, from your office or your studio or whatever that may be, and you're not answering customers while you're eating your tea or while you're sat in bed. Because the fact is, as much as you feel the need to get this done because it's your own business and you need to keep everything running, your customers need to understand that you only answer between a certain time within the day. And the reason this is you need to set this, you set the customer's expectations. So they can send you a message at 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't care, but you do not answer at 1 o'clock in the morning. You wait until your working hours the next day, for example, 9 a.m. And then you read the message, you have time to digest what has been said, you create your response, you read it again to make sure you're not being rude, and then you reply back, and it might be 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. What this does is it gives you time to breathe and process your day, and it gives you that space away from your customers during the evening. And I do understand, a lot of you are mega busy creating things in the day. Well, if that is the case, you need to give yourself an hour from 2 till 3, whatever hour that may be, but this is just an example, 2 till 3 in the afternoon. Every day you go through your messages and you respond. And then that's it for the next day. But and obviously it's up to you how much time you want to allocate to this, but it gives you a massive break, and it also allows you to concentrate on being creative, sending the packages out, doing the other things that are so important for your business. But at the same time, you're answering what you need to answer, and then you have that headspace. So you may be thinking, well, how on earth am I actually going to be able to answer all of my customers within an hour in a day? And you are right. Depending on the size of your business, may be that you need more time. That is fine. You could decide that every afternoon you spend answering all your customers, and all the mornings you create products or you package your products and you send them out. It's entirely up to you. But in order to, I suppose, make the process faster, what I would suggest is standardization. So what I mean by this is creating responses for your frequently asked questions. And so there's 2 ways here, actually. There's having your frequently asked questions on your website, so that anyone who asks something that's off that page, you just point them to the website page and then say to them, if you need any more help, please get back in touch. However, all the information's on my FAQ page on my website, blah, blah, blah. If you start getting asked the same question again and again and again, it's not on your FAQ page, you need to add it, and you need to add the information and then point your customer there. Because what it does is it stops you sending, obviously answering the same question over and over again. Secondly, so for example, if you're getting asked messages to do with technical issues or even down to your FAQs, to be honest, you can create template responses that you can just quickly grab and then amend for this specific customer. So it may be they've asked what your delivery times are. Obviously, this is actually a bad example because your delivery information should be on your website, but for example, it's not. You could create a response that has all your delivery information in, and then what you would amend is obviously the customer's name. So you'd say hi and then the customer's name, and then all the information underneath. It may even be just a link to where your delivery information is on your website, and then you want your I suppose your signature for the email. So you make many thanks, whatever your name is, and then your business information, like your website and that. So the reason I'm saying this is if you have a folder with lots and lots of different response templates. When you get an extremely busy day or something catastrophically, easy enough for me to say, goes wrong, you have templates pre-made to say to people, thank you for letting me know. We're currently looking into this. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Bam. And then you can have the headspace to actually do whatever you need to do the work. So what this means is you're not recreating the wheel every time you write an email back to your customers. And this is super important, because as much as you don't want people to think they're talking to a robot, and this is why you can adapt each template, you also need to make sure that you're saving your time, and that time can be better spent elsewhere looking at your customer experiences. So by giving them quicker answers, by giving them more valuable answers, you will then build your customer loyalty and create more positive word of mouth. So I hope that helps. And it also basically gives you the headspace to be able to think and kind of move away. And this is so important, because I've seen it in so many people over the years. Like, you talk to my friends who have worked for different phone companies in like the complaints departments, and, they may have suffered with depression or anxiety talking to customers, because all they ever get is someone that's being like blatantly rude to them. And it's all about having a framework in place to kind of say, excuse me, I'm here to help you. Let me know all of the details, and I'll take this away and see what I can do for you. Because what happens is, if you get pushed and pushed and pushed to the point, you end up being rude back to the customer. You damage the reputation of your company. The customer's upset. They post on social media about how horrible you are and how useless you are. And then that gets shared all over the internet. And then your business has got bad rep. And it's just not worth it. And it's all in the planning to keep our stress down and have templates ready. So even if you have the template and you think, you know what, this customer's been really rude, however, I've got this template I can use. I can be super polite, overly polite in this email back, send the email, and then sit there thinking, you know what, that person was an idiot, wasn't he? As long as it doesn't say that in the email, it's fine. You can think whatever you want to think and get your stress out the way you want to get your stress out, but just not directly to your customer. Because this is all about building customer relationships for the foreseeable, instead of it being a quick sale and then just upsetting someone and then getting rid of them because they've bought something off you anyway. You want this person coming back again and again and again in the future, and you want them telling their family and friends how fantastic your business is. So this is all in the mindset of you and how you can prepare for the future. So I hope that you found this useful and helpful today. Please rate and review. It helps me grow. I am a new, obviously, podcast, so I really need this. Thank you so much for listening, and hopefully I will be in your ears next week. Bye.